at the representation of BME parliamentarians as well, or the lack of them. It's Bernadette Horton, what can I say? I met Bernadette on Twitter, as you do nowadays, yes. In the 8th century. She's an absolute astounding activist. She is a star. She is an absolute star. And I met her because she was complaining, which she may phrase it differently, but she was complaining, rightly complaining about the Labour Party's lack of affordable passes for people with, I think, caring responsibilities. And she badgered away and eventually got through to Ian McNichol, and she changed it, and she managed to get a number of affordable passes for people like herself. So, you know, this is the real deal. Bernadette, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you to this stage.
Okay, good afternoon everyone, I hope you can all hear me. Yeah, my name is Bernadette Horton. My intention is to be the working class, female, disabled candidate that smashes the glass ceiling in UK politics. You'll have to excuse me as I pinch myself. I'm actually here in Brighton under the leadership of Jeremy Corbyn and Tom Watson. The moment I knew they'd both been elected, I knew the time of the working class MP and that of Assembly member in my country, Wales, who coincidentally had a slight win at the rugby on Saturday night. Owen Smith will never forgive me if I didn't mention it. I knew that our time has arrived. Hope is the one thing we all need. And I have hope for the first time in many years that real change within our party is about to happen for ordinary people like me. I believe since 2010, we've gone some way as a party to improve working class representation by seeing the success story of my good comrade Kate Osamore get elected this year. And of course, going back to 2010, the former miner and now the proud shadow minister for trade unions, who in his own words simply wants to change the world, Mr. Ian Lavery. But I believe passionately that more, a lot more, needs to be done to encourage more working class candidates to come forward. My union Unite have walked alongside me from day one, when I suddenly felt after 15 years of being a full-time carer to my autistic son, I want to represent ordinary people like me in Parliament. Unite have provided education and training and a toolbox of skills that equip me to have the confidence to enter the political arena, but also the necessary skills to take on the Tories and the hostile media who will seek to put me down where they think I belong. The financial cost of becoming a future candidate is frightening. Unite help by covering my travel costs and the odd overnight hotel stay in order for me to participate in training. Otherwise, I simply couldn't afford to do it as a working class parent of 4 sons surviving on working tax credits. I live in North Wales. It costs roughly £100 to travel to London or Cardiff. My weekly food budget is far less than that, and I couldn't entertain blowing that money on a rail journey. Cost is a major barrier to working class representation, and the Labour Party need to recognise that working class candidates live the hard-pressed lives that many of the electorate do, struggling to get by in unprecedented austerity. I would sincerely like to thank Jenny Formby, Joy Johnson and the team within the political department at Unite for all their nurturing, help and support. I appreciate it greatly. But we cannot wait for change until 2019 or 2020. Jeremy Corbyn said in his campaign speeches he will act to ensure there is financial help for working class candidates seeking election in the 100 key target seats for Labour in 2020. Tom Watson is keen on a bursary scheme. These ideas will be warmly welcomed by working class candidates who have in the past received little or no support from the party. It simply cannot be enough that trade unions have to step into the breach to support us. For over a century, finance has been a barrier to political representation. It cannot be right that being brought up in a poor, low-income family effectively bars you from political representation in Parliament. But sadly, in the last 20 years, this has become increasingly the case. Now we change that narrative. Social media has been a very useful tool for people like myself to